So the other day I got a comment from some under 30 hipster doofus asking why I didn't spend more time pointing out the negatives in cameras and tech gear that I review. Basically, he was saying if I like a product, I gotta be overlooking something about that product to not focus in on the negatives. Maybe I didn't spend enough time complaining about the autofocus, or didn't spend 10 minutes talking about the battery life. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't angry enough about some tiny little bug that'll probably get fixed in the next firmware update. And you know what? That under 30 hipster doofus isn't completely wrong. I don't look at tech the same way a lot of people do. Because I still remember recording songs onto cassette tapes, okay? I still remember waiting a week to see if my pictures came out right. And I still remember sitting by the radio for 3 hours hoping that a Bon Jovi song would come on so I could hit the record button before the DJ started talking over the fucking guitar intro. So maybe the reason I don't obsess over every single little flaw isn't because I don't see them, but maybe it's because I've seen where we came from. All right, let me explain what I mean here. Every now and then somebody leaves a comment wondering why I don't spend half of my reviews just tearing products apart. They'll point out that I didn't mention every single little negative, or they'll assume that because I like a piece of gear, I must be a shill for whatever company made the thing that I bought. The truth is a lot simpler than that. If something genuinely sucks, I'm going to tell you about it. If the battery life is awful, the autofocus is hideous, or a company ships something atrocious, listen, I have no problem saying so. Companies deserve criticism when they miss the mark, okay? There's no doubt about that. However, I also think that we've reached a point where a lot of creators have forgotten just how unbelievably lucky we are to be making stuff right now. You see, I didn't grow up with YouTube. I didn't grow up with smartphones. I didn't grow up with drones that fly themselves or pocket cameras that can track your face while you walk through a city looking like you've got your own camera crew following you around. I grew up when making shit was hard. When I started recording music back in 1989, that's right, I'm from the 1900s. But my entire recording studio was a Tascam 4-track cassette recorder. 4 tracks, man. That was the whole studio. If you wanted drums, bass, guitar, and vocals, congratulations, man. You just used up almost everything that you had. If you wanted another guitar part or some backing vocals, you had to start bouncing tracks together. And every time you did that, the recording picked up more tape hiss and lost a little more quality. Even if you did everything right, there was always noise, there was always saturation, and these little imperfections that you couldn't fix. There was no undo button. There weren't AI plugins just cleaning things up, or virtual instruments that sounded like $1,000,000 studios. If you sang a bad note, you sang it again. If your guitar tone sounded terrible, well, your guitar sound just sounded terrible. Today, somebody who never even learned to play a real instrument can sit down with a few $100s worth of software on a laptop, load up virtual instruments that do all the work for you, fix every vocal, replace every drum hit, master an entire album, and upload it all to Spotify before lunch. Whether you love that or hate that, it isn't really the point. The point is that it's absolutely incredible that you can do it. Video wasn't any easier. If your family owned a VHS camcorder, you were basically the family's George Lucas, okay? The thing weighed about as much as a car battery. It needed enough light to land an airplane. And if somebody walked in front of the camera while you were recording on Christmas morning, well, boom, that guy's part of your video now. There wasn't any AI removing distractions from the background. There wasn't object tracking. There wasn't stabilization. Half the time your video looked like somebody filmed an earthquake. And editing, forget it. Editing meant two VCRs sitting next to each other. You hit play on one, record on the other, and just hope that your timing was perfect. All right? Miss it by half a second, start over again. Okay? There wasn't a timeline. There was no Control Z. All right? There wasn't a mouse click that magically fixed your mistakes. Every little edit took patience and a ton of cursing. Photography was the same story, man. You got 24 shots of taking a good picture. Maybe 36 if you were a gazillionaire and could afford the larger film roll. Every single click of a button cost you money, so you actually thought before pressing the shutter. Then, once you were done, you'd drop the film off somewhere, wait like 4 days for it to be developed, and then find out that half of your pictures were shit. There was no Lightroom, no Photoshop, no AI magically removing tourists from the background. If you messed up a shot, you lived with it. And don't even get me started about just listening to music. If you wanted to hear your favorite song, there was no Spotify. There was no Apple Music or YouTube Music. You literally sat by the radio with a blank cassette tape, fingers just hovering over the play and record button, just hoping that the DJ would play the song that you wanted. Then, just as the intro started, hey everybody, you're listening to Mad Dog Mike on 95.5 WPLJ. Right over Richie Sambora's guitar intro. F you, Mad Dog Mike, I hate you. So when somebody asks me why I don't spend all day complaining because the camera's autofocus hunted for a second, or because a drone battery lasts 35 minutes instead of 37 minutes, it's not because I don't notice these things. It's because I'm comparing today's tech to what I grew up with. I could put a DJI Action 6 in my pocket and carry around stabilization that would have looked like something Industrial Light and Magic did when I was 20. I could launch a drone that flies itself, avoids obstacles, returns home on its own, and capture footage I would have needed a helicopter to shoot 30 years ago. I could edit 4K video on the same computer I used to answer emails and record podcasts and write scripts. If Teenage Chris had seen this setup that we have today, he wouldn't have asked about dynamic range or sensor size. He would have stared at it for about 5 minutes and just assumed that somebody stole it from Skynet. And I think that's where the disconnect happens. A lot of young creators judge technology against what came out last year, all right? I judge technology against what I had back in 1989. Like neither way is wrong. It's just, using a different measuring stick. Yeah, that doesn't mean that companies get a free pass, okay? They don't. If a product has real problems, we should absolutely call them out on it, all right? That's how things get better. But somewhere along the way, I think we've become so focused on finding flaws in new tech that we've forgotten to appreciate just how unbelievable these tools really are. Sometimes I read comments where people act like a camera is garbage because autofocus missed once, or because a firmware update is taking too long to release. And I just kind of laugh, all right? Not because they're wrong for wanting better, but because I remember dreaming about tech like this when I was a broke-ass musician recording songs in my bedroom in the Bronx. Back then, I would have killed for gear that was half this good. Today, we carry movie studios in our pockets. We could record albums in our spare bedroom. We can publish videos to millions of people around the world with a couple of clicks, man. We have access to production tools that would have seemed like science fiction when I was growing up. So no, I don't ignore the negatives. I just refuse to let them blind me to how ridiculously amazing the technology really is. Because sometimes I think we spend so much time looking for what's wrong with today's gear that we forget something pretty important. We're living in the greatest time in history to make things. And if that's the worst take I ever have, I'm perfectly okay with that. All right, I'm done yelling, hey, get off my lawn. And maybe I didn't change anybody's mind, but hopefully I reminded a few of you just how lucky we are to be creating things right now. Till next time, my friends, stay loud, stay a little bit reckless, and go out and make something.